What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Samstrings is a Minecraft player from the 464 SMP. He was quite the troublemaker, and today we'll uncover everything you need to know about him from his beginnings to his tragic end. First off, a couple things to explain. This happened on the 464 Infinity SMP, which included the British Expansion Pass and the Seb Admin DLC, meaning we had an influx of British people join, or other people who were across the world, and I was the admin. My job was to go around giving riddles to people, rewarding them, and just causing general mischief. Second, we had the Deluxe 464 Nonsense Day 1 patch.
I can swallow a bottle of...
Meaning we had multiple data packs and plugins installed, meaning there were lots of custom items, terrain, and more items. Third, this was the sequel to a series of servers. I'm pretty sure you guys know 464 SMP. If you saw the last video, come on bro, you're in the loop. In total, this is like the 4th or 5th one we've experienced. So anyway, with the following players. Me, of course, Some Spammer, Stingray FOKO, Joe Pepsi, Fluff, Sinkful of Water, Jack, Lonnie, Liam, Captain Comic, Maniacal Monitor, Dr. Kachowski, Infamous Gambling Addiction, Blue Bloop 208, Prinic, and Invictus, and there's probably more, but I don't know, I forgot who else was there. With this many people, you could come to expect factions to appear, in which they did. In the beginning, before the server even started, we saw our first and pretty much only faction. Well, there was one more, I almost forgot, there's one more faction. The Televised Syndicate.
Now we are live.
Oh my god, dude! I win!
Sorry.
I'm trying to wait for an expansion because there's a building nearby. Oh my gosh! I wish you. Why didn't you warn me?
Tom Holland. What the? Oh my goodness! Thank you, good sir. Catch you later.
Interesting. That's not a bad trade at all. 1 emerald for emerald ore.
Oh, that's cool. Why keep turning very nice?
Wait, what's your username? What is happening?
Of too much fella.
The TV Syndicate had big goals of conquering the world, but they didn't really take the necessary steps to do that. In my opinion, rather than declare all-out war against the entire world, perhaps trying to rally people against a common enemy would have gathered people to their cause more. At least that's what I looked at. And their first step was one of their members finding a powerful item called the Time Clock, an item that allowed a player to force the world into night or day, who soon after would end up killing an AFK Samstrings. Now, this is incredibly important because of one more rule. Since nobody knew who Samstrings was, except for me of course, he was considered an anonymous account, meaning lots of people didn't really want him on the server because they didn't know who he was and they didn't really know who to take their anger out on. So I proposed a limited life system that for all anonymous accounts, you have 3 lives. Pretty simple, he just lost his first, he's got 2 more left. And since Samstrings had lost one of his only lives, after being told this rule, he would swear revenge against those who did this to him, and would begin scouring the world for the Televised Syndicate. It wouldn't take too long, honestly. We had a dynamap which showed everybody's location, so like he probably just looked at it and was like, oh, there they are. In time, Samstrings would happen across the Televised Syndicate's base and blow it up. The Syndicate, now taking Samstrings serious, would then label him as a public enemy. Around this time, Blue Bloop was suspected of being a mole and telling the group's secrets to Samstrings. Not entirely sure why this was, but he would be kicked out of the group and then brought to trial eventually. He proceeded to live as a nomad, so hey, power to him. Samstrings would then go on to befriend multiple people with gifts, and he would attempt to gain people on his side to fight the Syndicate. However, thanks to the school season picking up, the leader of the Syndicate, Danny, would withdraw from the server, and he would leave the Syndicate without any guidance. During this time, they held a court trial to see if Blue Bloop was guilty of being a rat, and Samstrings was there. I don't really know why they had it, but I think he was guilty. Later on, Charlie and Samstrings would discuss Blue Bloop's excommunication from the Syndicate, and upon finding common ground in their loathing of Blue Bloop, they would ambush and eventually kill him. Keep this in mind for later. As the server progressed, Samstrings would stay on the down low, with only a few notable happenings. Like that one time he was flying around in a boat. It was kind of funny. Eventually, Samstrings would go on to make allies, eventually creating a Discord group called Paradise Pals.
When'd you get a hatchet? You don't have to do the LTG.
I want to do the low tier god though.
I'm back in surviving again.
Could be one of those weird people who use neo pronouns.
The only really valuable things I have on me is 1 golden apple.
You got 3 golden apples. I'm looking at your inventory right now.
Wait, I'm over here lying.
In which he would explain that he was originally from the Ether and was sent down to retrieve the time clock. And if he didn't, his bosses would erase him from existence or something. Wait, who wrote this? Yeah, I did. Anyways, the Paradise Pals were nearly unstoppable, bruh. Another thing to note for this server is that we had like a wish system where if you found this item called a wish lapis, which was an enchanted, lapis lazuli, you could give it to the admin, who was me, and you could bargain for something that you normally wouldn't be able to get. Like, for example, one wish lapis you could use it to give everybody on the server 3 diamonds. Boom. Pretty simple. Eventually though, Samstrings would meet his end. I'll be 100%, I forgot how he died on his second life, so let's just say he was nice enough to give it up for dramatic tension. Months after Samstrings and Singful of Water's assassination of Blue Blue, I'll be honest, he got one-tapped, I'll be 100%. They would make the plunge into the end together, on supposedly common ground. They both had goals of attaining an Elytra. Samstrings' original intention was to betray Blue Blue after it would find the first Elytra. However, in a twist of fate, under mysterious circumstances, Samstrings would fall to his death in the end. Normally this would signal the end of the Samstrings era. Bro died, clapped, easy, I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure Blue Blue kicked him off the ledge, but we have proof that, he just died normally. However, thanks to the bonds Samstrings had made, the Paradise Pals came to his rescue with the power of the Wish Lapis, in which they would bring Samstrings back to life. This time, he came back with a plan. In death and resurrection, Samstrings had ruminated on his path forward. Upon discussion with his teammates, they would come to the conclusion that they needed to move on from this world and rise above. Remember when I said Samstrings had been sent by mysterious individuals to reclaim an item that allowed his user to shift time forward? Don't remember, because that wasn't important. For the Paradise Pals to reach the ether, they needed to have Elytras so they could break through the sky and into the ether. Samstrings somehow had apparently known where to get some, and through their teamwork and dedication, they were able to fly high up into the ether. Unfortunately, due to that one thing I told you not to worry about, Samstrings would spawn inside of a rock and was unable to be freed, and he suffocated to death inside of the ether. Kind of poetic, but not really. This would put an end to the life of Samstrings on the 464 SMP Infinity. Samstrings would continue to make occasional cameos in random servers we played in for about 2 years, until I revealed who Samstrings was, and with this video, I declare the tale of Samstrings over and completed. Oh yeah, Samstrings, that's me by the way. Casual flex,
Well, here goes nothing. Hello everybody, my name is Samstrings, and today, well, if you're watching this, you already know who I am and what I've done. This is merely a recording of some moments I was able to record. I don't do commentary unlike some people. I actually enjoy the silence. Before we get on to my interpretation of events, a few things must be said. To Stingray FLKO, you were a wonderful ally. I know you're surprised I'm not Searcher 64. I knew you would respond best to me and my plight should I imitate him. I even worked with him to call you so you would suspect him. I'm sorry to deceive you, but I cannot take any chances. I hope you survive onto the next 464. To Searcher 64, you were an interesting host. Perhaps you should have tested the limits of the server before releasing it. You seem to rush yourself far too much. You need to take time and make sure your gifts to people aren't gonna blow up in their faces. To DeMarcus, I've watched you. Not in a stalker way, but your humor is endearing. If only you had logged on more often. To Blake, you are a valiant enemy. A brilliant trickster. I must admit, you outsmarted me and outtricked me. Never lose that nature, my rival. To Cross Sparrow, I hope you die. No, I hope you're the last to die. To see the world crumble. To see your plans break down in front of you. You are a parasite that parades a mask of justice. When we both know you take justice into your own hands. Now that that's over with, please enjoy my playthrough on the 464 SMP.